It has been a long time since I've done a video on Les Moonves. I couldn't even begin to tell you when the last time I talked about him and what it was about. But just know it's been maybe at least 2 years since I've last talked about Les Moonves. But he's back in the news again. And I believe this is probably one of the rare times I've ever done an Operation Protect the White Boy on a person who was more well known. Usually those videos tend to be about people who are not known at all. But I said, let me go ahead and talk about this because it definitely falls into that category. So Les Moonves was fined $11,000 for basically interfering with an investigation that was on him involving the LAPD, and it was a sexual assault investigation, and he interfered with it, and he only had to pay $11,000. Now let's really think about that. This man is practically most likely a billionaire, and for what he did, he should have been paying way more than $11,000, and in my honest opinion should have been facing some jail time. But all he had to pay was $11,000 for tampering with something he was involved in, most likely perverted things, definitely, because it says it was a sexual assault investigation. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this article coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Les Moonves, the former president and now CEO of CBS, tried to influence now retired LAPD Captain Corey Parker amid a sexual assault investigation against the executive, news documents from the Los Angeles City Ethics Commission found. The legal documents made public on Friday and obtained by NBC4 revealed that Moonves agreed to pay an $11,250 fine on February 5th for violating the city's ethics code by inducing a city official to misuse his position for Moonves' benefit. The Ethics Commission found that Parker, who was the commanding officer of the Hollywood division in 2017, personally gave Moonves confidential information about the sexual assault probe after a former employee filed a report against him in late 2017. Parker met with the CBS executive on November 25th, 2017 at a Westlake Village restaurant to share information, according to the ethics investigation. They met for about an hour and discussed the LAPD investigation, the summary read. The meeting was not part of the official investigation by the LAPD. Later in December of that year, they also discussed the investigation over text message, the Ethics Commission document said. Following Moonves' resignation from CBS in 2018 following sexual assault allegations from multiple women, the ethics investigation determined that Parker sent another message to Moonves saying, "I'm deeply sorry this happened. I will always stand with, by, and pledge my allegiance to you." Moonves had denied all allegations against him, while Paramount stated it had no comment on behalf of CBS. In November 2022, the Los Angeles Police Department said it launched an internal investigation into Parker's involvement in Moonves' case. LAPD Chief Michelle Moore said in a statement at the time, "What is most appalling is the alleged breach of trust of a victim of sexual assault. This erodes the public trust and is not reflective of our values as an organization." The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office also noted that an examination was underway of past cases involving Parker as a witness. Moonves' interactions with the LAPD first surfaced after the New York Attorney General's Office issued a November 2022 report detailing how members of his CBS C-suite themselves intervened to save their boss, worried the spiraling crisis would affect a then nascent merger with Viacom. You see all the protections they give each other? I mean, they are giving each other all types of protection for this dude and all of its entities involved. The New York Attorney General secured a $30.5 million settlement from the company and Moonves for misleading CBS investors about his misconduct and concealing sexual assault allegations against him, among other offenses. And that is the entire article right there. I'm not in the least bit surprised by that, but you see what PC men in particular, those who have actual power, who have lots of money, can do and influence people to do. Bill Cosby could never do something like this. And if it did, they would have made sure that that would have made front page news. Now, this article that I'm reading from was dated February 16th, 2024. I'm recording this video on the 23rd, which is basically a week later, or over a week later, if you want to be technical, because many of you probably didn't even know this even occurred. If you didn't hear from me, or maybe someone else who might talk about this before I get this video up. They're trying to keep it low key as possible. Now, this is a guy who is no stranger to controversy. Of course, one of the most infamous ones is how he basically had a hand in blackballing and derailing Janet Jackson's career back in the early 2000s after that Super Bowl incident. Yet Justin Timberlake was able to continue to thrive and flourish, although he was right there on stage with her when that wardrobe malfunction occurred. Yes, she was the one that had to take a back seat in her career, and she basically was at legendary status at that point. She never went to the Grammys ever again since then. It's been 20 years. It's crazy how fast time flies. And this man was able to continue to flourish and thrive over there while he had all of this going on. He probably had some stuff going on most likely during that time too, but because, again, he's covered and he's protected, he was able to thrive and going forward. So what, he stepped down as the CEO, he resigned. Notice it said he would resign, not that he was fired or removed. He resigned, so he was able to still collect a check, and probably, as far as I know, maybe still be collecting a check on the back end. And now he basically was coercing someone to basically tamper with evidence involving him again being perverted. Now, you got to ask yourself a question. Which one weighs more as far as the bigger scandal? Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl, or this man being a straight up creep and a repeat offender as far as I'm concerned? And I find it even more interesting that his wife, Julie Chen, ironically added Moonves at the end of her name to show, I guess this was a way to stand, and this was her supposed to be standing in solidarity with her husband at the time, because remember, she was just going by Julie Chen. I didn't even know she was married to this man. We know how she got her job, or jobs I should say, over at CBS. She didn't have to work hard to get them. She's the boss's wife. But I found it interesting is that when all of that was going on, she tried to throw Camille Cosby under the bus for defending her man, yet she was supposed to be trying to, I guess, defend her man, but no one threw her under the bus. Someone should have, in my honest opinion. And you know what's so crazy? With all of this going on, she's still by this man's side. And no one's saying, oh, Julie, you need to leave Les Moonves. This man is bad for you. He's a creep. How dare you stand by his side? You know, the same thing that they told Camille Cosby, to just leave Bill. No one told Julie to leave. So, like I said, it's a night and day type of deal with this. But as far as Les Moonves goes, I'm not surprised. I am not in the least bit surprised that he did everything right there that that article stated, and then some. I'm sure there's some more skeletons in this man's more bones in this man's closet, enough to probably rebuild the damn skeletal system of a T-Rex. But then got the nerve to try to sit there and judge others. I'm just saying, when you do dirt and you got a lot of dirt on you, you have no room to try to say or throw dirt onto anybody else. Like they say, what is it? Don't throw stones in glass houses. This man practically lives in a china cabinet and has thrown a lot of stones. But for some reason, due to his status, it's not yet shattered. It's barely cracked at this point. And you know what? Just like this story just kind of went under the rug, anything else that comes out about him is going to go right under that same rug, and no one's going to care.